What's up, family? It's Naj with Built by Plants. I'm sitting outside of Whole Foods. I just got back to the car, and it's been a minute since the last time I did an actual car video. So I figured I'll go ahead and share some things that was just on my mind. I went up here to go grab a snack, and I figured this would be a good opportunity to make a video on snacking, right? Vegan food options, vegan snacks, well, and also what type of foods you should be prioritizing, like how should you go about snacking? Because the thing about it, when it comes to snacks, usually we want something that's kind of satisfying our cravings, and that can be fine. You know, there's a lot of people favorite snacks are like nuts and seeds and things like that, which are healthy options, but healthy doesn't necessarily mean beneficial when it comes to your actual goal for body composition, meaning fat loss, right? Because nuts and seeds usually have a lot of calories not usually, they have a lot of calories per the size that it is. For that small amount of handful of nuts can easily be 200 plus calories, 300 plus calories, depending on how many you're eating. And the majority of people aren't actually going about weighing out their foods or even thinking about just portioning them, right? You just grab a big old bag of nuts or seeds and you just snack on them when you get hungry, and then you go on about your day and you grab a few more, especially when we're at work. It's like a pastime thing that we're just doing. So I'm not going to say that you have to stop snacking. I'm going to say that you should pick better options, right? And that's just like for nuts and seeds. There are other options as well, a lot of other high calorie foods that people pick, and that's not including the actual things that are like cravings or sweets, right? When you're eating things like, let's just say Oreos, because that's one of my faves. Well, I haven't really ate them within the last few months as much as I used to, but that was always one of my go-tos I just love to have, and not necessarily snack on, but I would have them like at the end of the day. I would have like 2 or 3 or something just to satisfy my sweet tooth. But there are other options that I would recommend and other ways to think about snacking. I think the main thing that you have to ask yourself is, am I hungry or am I just craving something sweet, right? Because if you're just hungry, there's better options than going for the nuts, the seeds, the Reese's cups and things like that. And speaking of those, I actually have, not Reese's, but these are the vegan versions, which are the Justin's, right? The Justin's peanut butter cups, cashew cups, whatever you want to call them. And I bought these, one, because I love them, but 2, I want to use these as an example of calories and why you should pick better options. These 2 peanut butter cups, actually these are cashew cups. These 2 cashew cups contain 230 calories together, right? 115 calories in this one, and then 115 calories in this one, right? So these 2 small little things, you literally can just one chew and then just devour them. 230 calories for these little things, right? There are much better options for you to go about picking if you're actually hungry, because I'm pretty sure if you were to have those, it's not going to satisfy your hunger. It may satisfy your sweet tooth or your craving, but not your hunger. And always what I recommend when it comes to satisfying your hunger with snacking is to go for fruit. Not just any fruit. Actual fruit that are higher in food volume, they have a lot of water content, so that way you can feel full. The whole goal of dieting when it comes to fat loss, right? The whole goal is to never feel like you're hungry. Because if you can never feel like you're hungry, you're not going to overconsume calories. And the option that I recommend always, usually, why is the receipt attached to that, is melon. All right, I always say grab melon. This is a big old container. It ain't bigger than my head. It's close though. This container right here is 612 calories. Not sorry. I said that so wrong. This thing is 612 grams, right? 612 grams with literally less calories than these 2 peanut butter cups or cashew cups. So look at that. Look at this. Look how much food is in this compared to this. This has 230 calories. This has 227 calories to be exact. So I get to eat literally probably, what is it, like 10 times as much food by switching to this right here versus the cashew cups. Now keep in mind, the cashew cups or the peanut butter cups, those type of things, yeah, they may taste better if you enjoy sweets, right? But again, think of it from the perspective of trying to not be hungry. If you're trying to not be hungry, you want to opt for more food, more volume, more that's going to fill up your stomach. Because if you can eat more food, it's going to stretch your stomach. Not in a literal sense from the perspective of stretching it permanently, but it's going to make it feel more full. And the more full that your stomach can feel, the less calories it's going to need, right? So you're kind of tricking your calories, you're kind of tricking your body, your stomach, to fill up on foods that are few calories, but it's still a lot of volume in that food, right? There's a lot more of food in here versus these peanut butter cups. So if you can have more of this with the same exact amount of calories as the peanut butter cups, that's going to cause you to be able to diet a little bit longer, because you're not going to be thinking about food as much as you would if you were just to have those peanut butter cups. Because usually, for me at least, when I have those peanut butter cups, within another 30 minutes, another hour, I'm already thinking about food again, all right? And yes, they're great, they taste amazing, they're delicious, but the goal is to stay full for a longer period of time so you can keep dieting and stay within your caloric deficit, all right? So find foods that are high in food volume. Look at the calories per food amount, and the way that you do that is getting used to weighing out your foods. Take some food, whatever that may be, and put it on a food scale, and then use a tool like MyFitnessPal to figure out what that number that's on the food scale, let's just say it's 200 grams of 200 grams of bananas, right? When you weigh out 200 grams of bananas, type in 200 grams of bananas on MyFitnessPal, and it's going to tell you roughly the amount of calories that are within there, which will probably be anywhere between 180 to 200 calories within 200 grams of bananas, all right? And then you'll realize how much food that actually is. 200 grams of bananas isn't a lot of food. That's why I say you don't want to just opt for any fruit, right? You want to find the ones that are low calorie, high volume, that have a lot more food in them per calorie amount, per gram. And those are food like not just honeydew melon, that's watermelon as well, is a low calorie, high volume food. Cantaloupe, strawberries, those type of foods, and you can eat a lot more of those foods for fewer calories. So try to find foods that are high in volume, and then obviously like all vegetables for the most part are foods that you can opt for. And again, I said all fruit are not low in calories, because avocado is a fruit, right? That's technically a fruit, and that's one of the more calorically dense foods that you can take in a plant-based world, right? Along with nuts and seeds. So those are not foods that you necessarily want to snack on. You want to have them in your diet because they are healthy for you. They contain amino acids, and I said amino acids, very minimal. They contain omega-3s, omega-6, a lot of benefits, a lot of beneficial vitamins and minerals that we need to consume, just not in large amounts, right? They're really high in healthy fats, but fats have 9 calories per gram, right? So you don't want to have a lot of foods that have a lot of high fats in there if you're trying to diet. Now, I know the keto people are gonna argue with that, but I, from experience and working with people, know that if you do opt for foods that are lower in calories without a lot of fats, it usually will help you stay full for a longer period of time. There are ways around that as well, but that's beyond the scope of this video and the topic. So try to figure out what foods that you can have in your diet that are low in calories. Track your foods, weigh out your foods, so you can learn what portion sizes look like and the amount of calories are in those portion sizes, and decide if that's a good food to snack on or not. All right. I'm kind of rambling, but I just wanted to share some of those thoughts, and those are some of the things I think about. Now, keep in mind, that's not to say that you shouldn't have, the peanut butter cups when you do feel that you need them in moderation. That can be helpful, because there has been times when I would have a lot of fruit, right, or a lot of some specific food, and I would still be craving that, peanut butter cup or whatever it may be, right? And I would still have that peanut butter cup after I've eaten all that fruit. So I would eat this whole thing, right? And then, later on that day in the evening, still have that food that I was craving. So you got to ask yourself, like I said in the beginning, am I hungry or am I having a craving right now? Because that's going to be the deciding factor. But usually we're just hungry. And if you're still hungry after having that fruit, then you're probably not actually hungry, you're probably dehydrated, right? Because that's a lot of volume right here that you put in your stomach in between meals. Not like you're having that as your main meal, but in between meals, that should be able to hold you over into the next meal. So make sure that you're filling up on water as well, staying hydrated and such. All right. So I hope this was valuable. Hope it was helpful. Hope there was something that you can take away and apply. Um, but yeah, try to opt for some fruit for snacking, and the more that you eat it, the more you enjoy it, and the more that you will also start to not want those sweets as much, because you get the actual natural sweets from within fruits, right? So give that a try. I hope that was helpful, and y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Catch y'all later. Peace.